Hello everyone, my name is Xuanyi Lin. Today we'll be presenting my new further research on understanding consumer behavior in ethical fashion, which is developed for our Silent Studio 8. So just take a quick look at my table of content. Well, Studio A is a Sydney-based social enterprise that supports professional artists with intellectual disabilities, helping them build sustainable creative careers and share their work with the public. The organization is now expanding from fine art into apparel and merchandise, aiming to reach wider audiences and diversify its income while staying true to its inclusive mission. So to support this critical transition, my research is designed to help Studio A successful monetize its social mission into a competitive retail environment. I have structured this investigation around three core questions that explore consumer perception, purchase motivation, and what kind of value influence ethical fashion decision. This research can directly contribute to our group project by offering insight into consumer preferences that will help us develop marketing and retail strategies for Studio A online expansion and align its brand with ethical fashion values. So to explore this topic in depth, I adopted a qualitative literature review focusing on academic studies and industry reports that examine how consumers perceive ethical fashion, social influence, and values in social enterprises. Well, the main source include academic journals such as Journal of Business Ethics and Journal of Business Research, as well as the market research, including the Australia Ethical Consumption Report 2023, which provide current insight into ethical fashion trend in Australia. I also review company websites such as Jibu Gallery's discussion on original of art, helping to connect theoretical finding with today's creative net content. However, there are some limitations in the research methodology I used. Since my research mainly relies on secondary sources, the findings reflect general consumer trend rather than today's specific audience. In addition, most of the existing data come from the broader content of ethical or sustainable consumption. So insights on our inspired product are somewhat indirect, which makes some findings less directly applicable to today's situation. Okay, let's move on to the findings and analyze. So the first finding shows that consumers generally have a positive perception of social enterprises, since many people view them as a truthful and meaningful for combining business with social purpose. And compared with the traditional for-profit companies, social enterprises are perceived as more authentic and human-centric, creating a sense of moral warmth that appeals to ethical conscious players. This positive sentiment is also reflected in Australia's growing awareness and engagement with ethical consumption. According to Australia Ethical Consumer Report 2023, more than half of Australians, about 51%, are now familiar with the term ethical fashion, up from 48% in 2021. And here is a data comparison chart on the frequency with which consumer obtain information related to the ethical consumption. So now speaking to the fashion, it's evident from the data that Australians are taking an active approach in learning more about ethical consumption in general. Significantly, only 26% of Australians report never engaging with such sources, which is not notable decline from 32% 2 years earlier. This indicates that they are increasingly inclined to choose brands that demonstrate a genuine social mission. Well, people often feel that social goods carry more meaning and can be trusted because they contribute to social or environment good. Unlike the regular products, it reflects stronger values and give consumers a sense that their everyday approaches are making a positive differences. When it comes to art inspired good, consumers tend to appreciate authenticity and unique story behind each design. They value items that feel personal and original rather than mass-produced. This is a significant advantage for Studio A, as each item carries a distinctive creative identity of an individual artist. Emphasizing this authenticity can help build deeper emotional connection with consumers who seeking meaningful purchases. Another important insight is that when purchasing clothing or the products, consumers do consider social impact and brand mission, but those impact factors work alongside their personal value and needs. So social impact plays a significant and positive role in shaping consumer behavior. Many consumers today are motivated not only by the personal certifications, but also expect to contribute to society within the limits of their capabilities. However, research shows that social influence does not always lead people to make responsible or consistent choices. Also, individuals simply follow the group opinion without fully think about their own value or need in most of the time. Individuals prioritize their own opinions and preferences while still consider the perspective of others in a responsible society. leading to more like thoughtful and value-driven consumption. As a result, social impact does influence buying decision, but it operates alongside other key factors like product quality, design, and price. A consumer may express a desire to support brands that drive positive change, but they still expect attractive, well-made products that offer good value. In practice, social impact alone is rarely enough. It must combine with a positive, customer experience, as Park Lin found that even when consumer express strong positive attitude toward ethical fashion, those attitudes often fail to translate into actual purchases unless the brand demonstrates credibility and authenticity. This implies for a simple promoting exclusion mission might not be sufficient to attract and retain customers, and the apparel and merchandise must also meet the mainstream expectation in terms of design, comfort, and usability. When Studio's social mission aligned with high quality, appealing products, the likelihood of purchase will increase significantly, helping the organization build a more sustainable and successful brand. Among different social value, inclusiveness stand out as a particular compelling in today's content. Customers are emotionally drawn to brands that champion diversity and create professional pathways for artists with intellectual disabilities. Inclusiveness make customers feel that their purchase has a direct human impact, fostering a strong sense of purchase and belonging. While sustainability and fair trade remain important, they are now commonly promoted across the fashion industry. As a result, they may no longer be enough to distinguish a social enterprise on their own. By contrast, focusing on its unique narrative of inclusiveness, such as illustrating how each purchase direct support artists with a disability enables Studio to deliver a more distinctive and emotionally powerful message. This approach fosters deeper consumer emphasis and strengthens the personal connection between the consumer and artist stories. Next to the discussion and implication, well, this study provides useful insight into ethical fashion consumption. Several limitations should be considered. The findings mainly reflect general consumer attitude towards ethical fashion, which may not fully catch the specific preference of consumers who are interested in art-related products like Studio's merchandises. In addition, as consumer behavior continue to evolve with new trends and technologies, those insights primarily present current trend condition rather than long-term pattern. Look ahead. The future research could explore how emotional connections such as appreciation of art and inspiration from an artist's story influence consumer purchasing decision, and gather primary data from consumers who are interested in art-inspired or social enterprise product to support findings. Despite those limitations, the results still offer a strong foundation for our group project. By identifying what motivates ethical consumer, my research helps the team design marketing and community strategy that highlights Studio A's inclusiveness and authenticity. Those insights will guide practical steps to strengthen the organization's online retail strategy and connect more effectively with socially conscious audiences. Okay, here's my reference list. Okay, that's all. Thank you for your listening.